Heartland Sports with Jess Todd. Sponsored by Southeast Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Well, it's official. Gene Bess has officially been inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, the winningest head coach in the history of college basketball at any level. The enshrinement ceremony held at Symphony Hall in Springfield, Massachusetts tonight. Bess greeted on the stage by Chris Bosh, John Calipari, and Roy Williams. He got a standing ovation from the crowd. You'll see it right here in just a second. And much deserved, too. Bess becomes the first lifetime junior college coach to be enshrined. His 1,300 wins stands alone at any level. But beyond that, Bess has had a lasting impact on thousands of people in the basketball community. And even still, he said never in his wildest dreams did he expect to be here.
It takes a village to accomplish this, and it would not be possible without my wife, Nelda. Thank you, Nelda, for taking care of our family and being a part of this experience. Also, thank you to every assistant coach I've had, especially my son, Brian, who coached with me for 27 years. Lastly, thank you to every single player I've ever coached. I want you to know that I love each and every one of you. Thank you for this great honor, and thank you to my Lord and Savior for allowing me to be here tonight.
Well, he's been a Heartland icon for a long time, but he's no longer just that. Gene Bess is a Naismith Hall of Famer. Congratulations to Coach. It's no surprise there are high expectations for SEMO football this fall. The Red Hawks program has built a pretty strong reputation, and a big piece of that has been their strength up front, the offensive line. But that group is facing a new challenge this season: turnover. A year after finishing as the #1 unit in the country in tackles for loss allowed and only having one newcomer, there's only 2 starters back this year: Zach Gigg and Kobe Sixkiller. Sixkiller was that one guy fitting into the mix last year. There's 3 spots up for grabs now, and only 2 other players on the entire SEMO roster have ever played in a Division I game. The trick right now, as Gigg told me, is just learning how to click and play as one.
The challenges, I would say, is more just communication. We got to learn how to communicate well, kind of like different players have different feel, especially at center. You got to feel what your left guard's doing and what your right guard's doing, kind of just changing with that.
A lot of these young guys have some mistakes that you really learn through playing, so just working those out, and those are showing up, and I'd rather them show up in practice than the first game. So it's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Learning experiences.
Defense is heavy installed, so they've been throwing a lot at them. I think mentally they're not quite there yet. I think physically we're all happy. They're talented. They can do a lot of things. They're just not very good at it as a unit yet, which is what you expect.
There's always going to be growing pains and everything, and I love how our guys have responded. Understanding tendencies, how we like to play things, what works for us, which is always going to, it's never the same. So just learning those things. It's been fun.
Camp's not always easy. It's a lot of hours, a lot of time, not everything you love. Kind of test your will, but I think we're doing it well, and I think our group's going to succeed.
Well, when you have guys like Gigg and Sixkiller back helping lead the way, that goes a long way. Zach Gigg, also a preseason first-team All-American. As of right now, Clive Trushell, actually a former teammate of Gigg's at Fresno, A.J. Locks, and Jamarcus Hill are the other 3 running with the first group. We'll keep you updated throughout training camp and leading into week 1 on who those starting spots are going to go to for the Red Hawks. How about Fredericktown football gearing up for the season with their Gatorade game tonight? Black Cat squad split into 2 for a scrimmage. Dane Sensel, great run up the middle for the white team. Huge hole created by who else? The O-line. We're going to give shout-outs left and right to the guys in the trenches today. And then Tim DeSanto, nice catch in traffic. DJ Baca eventually tracking him down for the tackle. Fredericktown's going to be a really interesting team this season. Steve Williams is taking over as head coach first year after spending the majority of his career focusing on baseball. The SEMO Hall of Famer, who played in the Phillies organization before heading to coach on the diamond with Cape Central, also played football for the Red Hawks, and now he's going that route with it. Pair it with the experience of the Black Cats' talent returning. They have something special brewing. Make sure you keep an eye on Fredericktown this year. How about Poplar Bluff as well, getting scrimmage action going? The annual maroon-white game tonight as well. The Mules coming off a trip to the district championship game last season, a game that came down to the wire against Cape Central after that huge win that they had in the semis against Jackson. Mules are going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be ready to go, starting with jamborees, which, if you can believe it, are this coming Friday. We are 6 days away from Southeast Missouri teams being out in force and also regular season action in Kentucky. Heartland Football Friday is back. Gear up for us. We're getting ready throughout the week. And Poplar Bluff's already from their time on the field tonight.